Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be covering what to expect in your orientation. I got a lot of people asking me about this, like what should I wear, what should I expect, what are they going to talk to me about? So I was like, why not give you guys a little bit of prior knowledge so you guys go in there with a better mindset and come a little prepared to your orientation. So with that being said, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I love to give tips and advice on how to be successful in your job, a little bit background knowledge about me. I have worked multiple jobs in a lot of different departments and areas, and so I've usually excelled in a lot of them, so I try to give you guys tips and advice that I follow and go by, and thankfully I've gotten a lot of positive result back. So make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below if you're ready for orientation, or if you're just watching this in advance in hopes that you'll ace that interview, which I have done a video for if you want to go check that out. And let's go ahead and get straight into it. So when they finally let you know that you have your orientation on a specific day, it's usually on the weekend, and you have to go there with your uniform on. If you don't have your uniform, you can go in kind of like a church fit. Don't wear your $1,000 Jordans. Don't go in there trying to like impress nobody. You're literally going into like a big warehouse. So get in there with your uniform. If you don't have the exact uniform, try your best to resemble something similar. And usually, like I said, it's in a warehouse. Now this is the same rule for no matter where you're at, whether you're like in a different state or in a different county. Usually they all have a warehouse, and that's where the orientation takes place. Now when you get to the warehouse, everything's kind of like gated. Things are pretty nice in there, you know, it looks kind of modern, I would say, at least mine did. My dad actually took me, and they can't stay with you or anything. They drop you off in the entrance and that's it. And like I said, everything is gated, so you kind of just walk in, and it feels almost like, I wouldn't say a cafeteria, but it feels like an airport, I would say. It was kind of like a little uncomforting at first, especially like since it was like my first real job and like in a warehouse. You know, some people get hired and they don't have to go to like this big orientation, and like this orientations that these companies do, they are pretty big because they gather different people from different stores. So you're not just going to be there with people who are going to work at your store. You're going to be there with people who are working in different departments in different stores, but you all have to attend the same meeting. Why? Because this meeting isn't just covering like, for example, the videos I do here, which are like, oh, what do I expect as a bagger? No, this is just like standard knowledge about the company. So they want everyone to know it no matter what, because honestly, they're not really targeting like your specific stuff. So you just really got to sit there and just listen and comply, because you definitely don't want to start off on the wrong foot. So when you get there with your professional fit or whatever, you're going to get off the car. If you decide to drive there, there is parking. If you don't decide to drive there, they have to drop you off. And at first, I would definitely say it's a little intimidating. You see so many faces, and I mean, I'm sure people think the same thing about me. A lot of times people are like, oh, you have a RBF, you know, a resting face, you know? And I'm like, really? Like, I don't see it, but it is a little intimidating because you see a lot of different people, a lot of different like ethnicities. You see a lot of people like carrying themselves differently. So it might be a little uncomforting, especially if you're not like a people person. You're just kind of like, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. So it is what it is. Like, you just have to go through it. So you get off the car, and I remember you walking through these white gates, and the first thing I did, I tried to like just be friendly and talk to everybody. These people probably honestly do not work in your store. You're never gonna see them again. So at least if you can make like a buddy, I would say that's the best way to go, because essentially you got to be there all day. They do pay you for orientation. So I know that's a commonly asked question, like, do they pay me to be there all day because it's an all day thing? Yes, they do pay you, and you have a lunch break and everything. So like I said, the best thing is to make friends, because if not, you're gonna be kind of like sitting by yourself and stuff. Not that that's anything bad, but me personally, I like to be around people. So I quickly made friends. There's always people around. Like, there's people who work in the warehouse who are going to be directing you on to what to do. So they're going to check you in and everything. And then I don't know if they gave you like a number or code or something. I don't think so. But essentially they take you into this room, and you're like in a line. I don't want to say it felt like a jail thing, but I just think like it was very structured, okay? And you get in the line and you walk into this big room. In the big room, I think they just tell you to sit down anywhere, and there's tables. Each table has like 5 chairs. So I sat down, and like 4 other people sat down, and everyone was just sitting down. You did get to choose where you sat. So I tried to sit with like the 2 girls I was talking to, and then these 2 other girls joined the table as well. And it was pretty, you know, good. Like, I was like, okay, like this is great. I sat a little bit towards the back, but there was tables like in the front, because it's a pretty big room. It's like a conference room. So take that into consideration. And there's gonna be people talking in the front, not really the back. So not really the back, but they have like an ample viewing space, so like they can see everyone in the room, like, and they can hear you too, so you're not gonna get away with anything if you sit in the back. And I remember you just sit there and somebody comes out, I forgot who he was, but he just basically starts talking about the policies, how this originated. They have like a PowerPoint, they start showing you things on the PowerPoint. They start asking questions, so if you want to raise your hands, you can. They try to go around the room so everyone can say something. I remember one of the first things they asked was, why do you want to work in this company? And everyone has to say something. So the first thing I'm thinking is like, I don't know, like, it's a job, like I got accepted and it's a job. But people are saying like, oh, because remember, there's all types of ages, all type of ethnicities, all type of people with different struggles in there. So some people are like, oh, I like it because of the stocks. Oh, I like it because this company helped my cousin who was dealing with this problem. Oh, this company didn't fire my cousin when he whatever. Oh, this company hired my brother when he got out of jail. Like, people are saying like deep stuff. So here comes me, and I'm like young, because you know, like, there is a few young people and then there's a few older people, because you know, we hire people of all ages. So I remember when it was my turn, I think I said, oh yeah, it's a great opportunity to like move up in the company, because that was always my thing. Like, I always want to like move up wherever I'm at. Like, I always want to do better, because that's what I see for myself. So I was like, oh, I just want to move up. And like, they don't stress it out too much. Like, if you're like struggling with your answer stuff, like they're not gonna like put you on the spot like that. They're just gonna keep it moving. But you are gonna have to talk. Like, so if you don't talk at all, you're gonna have to talk, because everyone has to say something. And that's how it basically goes for a while. Then they give you kind of like a skit, and you have to go up in front of the conference room and like do a skit or perform a skit or something with your group. And honestly, it gives you a chance and space to like socialize and get to know different people. And it's kind of fun, but it was obviously like, it was like a little like embarrassing at first, because it's like you don't know anybody, you don't even know the people who you are being friends with. Because I met these two girls, and like, I was cool with them in the orientation, but like, I didn't know them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really know, you know, you can't really like trust somebody straight off the bat like that. But we were just having fun, like whatever, it was cool, nothing crazy. And after that, we went back to our seat. He brought out like a different speaker, and they gave kind of like a motivational story. Like, they always like tell you like how people started at the very bottom and moved their way up, because this company is a company where you don't need a specific degree. You know what I'm saying? If you have a high school degree, you don't need a college degree to become a manager in this company. So it is a place where you move up through within. You know, nobody can get to the company and just become a manager like this. No, you have to go through all the steps, all the positions. So a lot of the people who would speak were like, oh, I was once a bagger, now I'm this. You know, I forgot the name of the position they said, but they were like something big. And it was pretty cool. I mean, at some points it was just kind of like, come on, like, I'm ready to go. But it was, you know, I guess to them it's important to let us know, because me thinking back on it, I really don't remember what it is that they told us. Like, if I'm being sincere, I don't remember, because you know, they just talk for a long time. But I remember that they do try to like go over the principles and stuff, and it does stick with you, because then when you get to work, some of the stuff that they said do go hand in hand. Now it's usually, now after a while, then we all line back up and we can go to the cafeteria. They pick out the food. It's only the people who were in the conference room. There's nobody else who's there. And you go through a line, and like if you would in a school, you know, it's a cafeteria. And you basically get served whatever it is they serve you, and then you go sit down, and they have like tables with benches inside. Everything is inside, it's not outside, by the way. And you just sit down and have your lunch. So I sat down with the two girls that I made friends with, and I sat down with these two other ladies who were also sitting at my table. So we sat down in a group. There were people who sat by themselves, and no one there is really there to make fun of anybody. Like, if you're just starting a job, if you're nervous, if this is your first job and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, this is my first job, or oh my gosh, when am I gonna do an orientation? Relax. A lot of times people are in a job just to make their money, or not a lot of times, almost always. People are just in a job to make money and leave. Like, no one cares that your shoes look, you know, weird, or that some girls are like, oh my god, my shoes are from Skechers, like people are gonna make fun of me. Like, no one cares. I promise you, no one cares. Like, if someone cares, it's literally because they have nothing better to do, and they're probably like at the lowest position that they could be at, because nobody who's been promoted or who genuinely knows like the value of the company, or who's been like really working hard in this company, is gonna be making fun of someone's shoes. is gonna be really like looking at those things like that, like making fun of you or something. So don't worry about it. A lot of times, like I said, people is just there to make money and go. No, it's not serious. I remember my orientation though, there was this one boy sitting at the table next to me, and he was like counting his money and trying to act cool, and like me and the girls were like, are you serious? So like if you're trying to show off like that, maybe somebody's gonna look and be like, oh my gosh, what a show off or whatever. But if you're just there genuinely like with your little Skechers and just chilling with your hair back, and you feel like people are gonna make fun of you because you don't think you look good, people aren't gonna make fun of you. Next thing I would definitely say is after the cafeteria, I'm probably sure you guys are gonna be like, I'm ready to go. Now you gotta go back into the conference room and sit there for a little bit longer, but it goes pretty well. And then at the end of the orientation, that's it, you can leave. And it's crazy because after that one day in orientation, that's it. Then you can start working in the actual company. And I've covered in a lot of other videos what to expect your first day as a bagger or as a cashier, so I won't get into it in this video, but everything is pretty standard, and this company is a place where they guide you. I mean, everything is like step by step, and they guide you. When you go in there, whether it's your first day as a deli clerk or as a cashier, as a bagger, whatever it is, you're gonna go do CBTs in the back. You're not just being thrown onto the registers. You're not just being thrown into the deli. You're doing CBTs. They're preparing you. And then finally, when it's time for you to work in the actual position, when it's time for you to get in front of a register, or when it's time for you to cut a sandwich, you are being monitored by these managers and stuff. And yes, there are managers who believe in like being right there with you, and there are managers who are like, do it by yourself and I'll just like watch over you. So it really depends on who you get. But regardless, like it's not anything that it's not anything that would be super hard to pick up or super difficult to understand. So I definitely think that you guys have it in the bag, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that this is super hard for y'all, but I wanted to just prepare you guys, give you guys a little bit of background knowledge. In terms of what they say, I mean, I can't remember too well, but it's no point, because if I tell you everything they say, then you guys aren't gonna wanna listen when you're there. So make sure y'all just pay attention. But like I said, it's not anything that's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna make or break your position, but it's good to have as background knowledge. But like the overall things that y'all are probably wondering, like, oh, is it inside or outside? Do we have a break? Like, how do we get there? What do we wear? That's what I was really trying to cover, and I think I did. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. But like I said, y'all will be good. Go there professionally, go there with a smile. Try to make a buddy, because it's just going to be easier, make the time go by quicker. They will have you doing like little skits. They will be asking you questions. You will have to speak. But other than that, like, that's about it. Everyone's pretty accepting, and like I said, you probably won't ever see them again anyway. So I mean, who cares? And with that, no, but I'm being like so serious. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope it was helpful, and comment down below if your experience is a little different, just because I want to know how they're doing it now. Again, this was like 2 years ago, so it might be, again, this was like 2 years ago, so things might have changed a little bit. I don't think nothing drastically. And also the reason why I did want to cover this video is because I know when the pandemic hit, they were doing it online, but now they're back to doing it in person, at least here in my state and in my county. So comment down below your experience, how they're doing it in your side. But over here, that's how we're doing it now. So I just wanted to cover it and, you know, get you guys all ready and pumped up. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.